always fresh every day. You're watching Fastlane Daily.
The first concept set to debut at Detroit next month has hit the web. It's a mini SUV with no doors. It's called the Beachcomber, and it's here to preview the upcoming Crossman SUV. Also, Kepler Motors releases a new supercar that's both ridiculously fast while still being green. And more news on the future electric version of the Mercedes SLS AMG Gullwing. That stuff and Bob Shubin Jr. giving you some advice on how to get out of a ticket later on in the show. What's up, everybody? I'm Derek D, and you're watching Fastlane Daily. Oh, and a few of you have called and emailed asking us if we're going to be at the Chicago Auto Show. Sorry, guys, we sent someone last year, but this year it just isn't happening. Something, with deep dish pizza, beer, and a Toyota spokesperson didn't really work out for us.
We're living in the fast lane, baby. Tuning in the fast lane daily.
The North American International Auto Show is coming up in only a few weeks, so you know what that means. The concepts are starting to break cover. The first one to hit the interwebs prior to the Detroit debut is yet another Mini, dubbed the Mini Beachcomber Crossover Concept. The Beachcomber is a first for the company, utilizing an all-new, all-wheel drive system called All-4. A lot of alls. The crossover slash SUV, or whatever the hell you want to call it, is ideal for, quote, spontaneous and active experience of freedom for leisure time. Damn, you gotta love automotive press releases. Now the concept is, well, what you'd expect out of a concept. Lack of doors, an open cockpit, and the Mini logo grafted everywhere. The important thing about the Beachcomber is that it sheds some light on the upcoming Mini Crossman, Mini's first stab at a production SUV. We expect All-4 to move over to production, and the Beachcomber's size should be an indication for how big the Crossman will look. Either way, when we learn more, we'll fill you in. And then they should fill in the car. Car maker Kepler Motors has unveiled their latest supercar, Motion. Originally set to debut at the Dubai Motor Show this year, they felt it was time to leak some shit and build a buzz. Sort of like what Guidos do on that terrible MTV show Jersey Shore. Anyway, Motion is pretty unique. It's an all-wheel drive system. The front wheels are powered by a 250 horsepower electric motor, while the rear wheels are powered by a totally reworked 550 horsepower Ford EcoBoost twin-turbo V6. This, quote, dual powertrain technology gets it from 0 to 60 in under 2.5 seconds with a top speed of 200 miles per hour. Motion also has a bunch of nutty nerd gear inside it, such as launch control, a carbon fiber monocoque chassis, active suspension, and carbon ceramic brakes by StopTech. The list goes on. No word on cost, but only 50 of these ridiculous marvels of technology will be produced. So get in line. Delivery begins in 2011. For Motion. The Mercedes SLS AMG Gullwing, a badass ride that we saw firsthand at the LA Auto Show. So how about one with no engine but batteries included? Well, Mercedes has been teasing the idea since the SLS's introduction, but now they've already began road tests of the electric SLS. It comes as no surprise that Mercedes is taking a stab at an electric supercar, especially since Audi has already announced upwards of 1,000 units of the R8-based electric e-tron. According to AMG boss Volker Morningweg, plans for it to come out in 2013 are still very much a go. The electric supercar's objectives: 0 to 60 time of 4 seconds and a battery range of 110 miles or 183 kilometers. It gets its juice from 3 batteries, throwing 525 horsepower and 649 pound-feet of torque, and gains 500 pounds over its gasoline brother. Either way, good old Morningweg said the electric SLS would be just as fun to drive as the gasoline version. I know one thing's for sure: chicks dig cars, and chicks dig electric toys, if you know what I mean. So this badass battery beauty is sure to turn some heads. And by heads, I mean chicks. Come on, that's fine. Next up, Bob Shubin gives you some tips on how to get out of a ticket. That's after this short commercial break. Come on, it's electric.
Where's that money you owe me?
What are you talking about?
The money you owe me.
Leo, I know.
Tell me something I want to hear.
We'll get you your money. We'll get you your money.
This is a shakedown. This is a shakedown. And this is Shakedown. Every Thursday on Fastlane Daily, always fresh every day, Fastlane Daily.
Hey, how about a deal? With me, Bob Shubin Jr.
Hey, how about a deal?
I hope all you Thanksgivings were prosperous and full of delicious, delectableistic foods. I know my cousin Angela had one too many Zambuca Espressos, if you know what I mean. Anyway, over this holiday season, the fuzz, the pigs, the police are on heightened alert and ready to pull people over faster than you can say, hey, you butt. So here's my top 5 ways to get out of a ticket or get a lesser ticket during this glorialistic holiday season. How about it? Oh, but first let me just say, a clean driving record is an obvious thing, right, Mutuals? Am I right? Okay, so I will not be including that in the countdown. That's what I like to call a given, okay? Mine's not too clean, but hey, what are you gonna do, all right? Number 1, if you realize you're about to be stopped, put your blinker on and pull over immediately. It sounds like, duh, but if you don't do this, you could make the bastard, I mean the cop, uneasy and give a very bad first impression. Unless, of course, you're headed down the border like my Uncle Tony did in '82, because he may have accidentally been money laundering at the time, okay? So get to the side of the road with your blinker on right away. It'll only work for your favor. Trust me on this. Ask Mutuals. He knows about this. Number 2, put your hands on the wheel, both of them, right here. These guys want to know they are safe, and they want to gain your trust, or you want to gain their trust. I meant to say, I'm sorry about that, Ian, that's okay. So doing this allows for them to optimistically assume you're not reaching under the seat for a 9mm handgun that you bought from the Browning Company based out of Morgan, Utah. I asked for Frank. What? Anyway, 2 hands on the wheel, okay? How about it? And this is an obvious one, but so many people get slammed about a bing-banged with high fines for not having their documentation up to date. This goes for your registration, your insurance, and your license. A lot of knuckleheads forget to renew their license or put the newer insurance card into their car. So check the expiration dates on your paperwork. I mean, look at this guy. I'd give him a ticket just for having that ugly mug.
Come on, Bob.
Hey, you shut up, Derek, okay?
Low blow.
I'll talk to you later. How about it? And number 4, a little trick that may help you if you got a heavy foot like my Grandma Lee. We call her Lead Foot Lena. Hey, how you doing, Gram? So, listen, hang something from your rear view mirror. Now, I know a lot of you may be saying, but Bob, it's illegal to have something hanging from there. I know this. It's also illegal to scratch VINs. Hey, how about it? But what I mean is if you're doing and saying all the right things, the cop may drop your 30 miles per hour over the speed limit 6-point ticket you got in Nutley, New Jersey to an obstruction of vision ticket without any points. That's a win where I come from, right? Mutuals. I mean, it's sketchy. It's throwing it out there, but it might work.
Never worked.
Hey, well, it's worked for my cousin Frankie one time, but don't worry about that. I'll tell you about that later. Most important and consequentialicious, okay? You gotta be honest. Wait a second, honest? Okay. Something I haven't been for most of my life, but that's neither there nor here, okay? But those cops have heard it all, from the, I'm sorry, officer, I have explosive diarrhea, to you ladies playing dumb and saying, oh, you didn't know. Oh, and then you're using your assets, and then, of course, you cry, okay? Just level with the cop. Acknowledge your mistakes. It shows you know what you did wrong, and you're not just driving all reckless like. Although when my old man got pulled over, he always had a few things in the trunk. He was better off not mentioning, if you know what I mean. Plus, I don't know if you ever had my Aunt Lucy's Monogot, but you want to talk about explosive diarrhea. Mod on. Anyway, be honest. That's the best policy. We all know that. And that's about it. I'm Bob Shubin Jr. That's my top 5 things to do if you get pulled over by the strong arm of the law. I wish you guys a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I know I look forward to some presents, some succulently scrumptious food, and eggnog spiked with a little bit of hey, but I will not be looking forward to watching Eddie, my second cousin once removed, getting all sloshed up and telling me how hot our other cousin Jennifer looks. I mean, it's not a good thing. It's not. Hey.
You forgot one thing.
What did I forget?
Pull over somewhere safe.
You want to pull, that's right. Mr. Musicals, I'm sorry about that, Mutuals. What you want to do is pull over somewhere safe. On a highway, these guys are getting bada bam by cars flying by at 80 miles per hour, okay? Pull over somewhere safe. The cop knows you're looking out for him too, okay? Bob Shubin Jr., have a Merry Christmas. Hey, you better deal. Thanks a lot, Bob. A lot of good tips there for if you get pulled over, and a lot of interesting facts about your family. Wow. Anyway, that about does it for Fastlane Daily today. Hope you guys have a great hump day. We will see you tomorrow for Thursday's edition of Fastlane Daily. Because it's Thursday. I come from, you're at the dinner table, everyone's talking at the same time, you're trying to get your 2 cents in, and this guy's giving us 4 cents over here, okay? So I'm sorry about that. Would you like me to talk about it a little bit like this, a little lower?
Ow, we're living in the fast lane, baby.